Hey guys, George here from Zero Peer Productions, back with another episode of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. This is part 15, and today I am actually recording audio after the fact because I had a bit of an issue with the first audio recording. So long story short, I usually record audio from my laptop when I'm doing Knights of the Old Republic, just because the game's resolution is a bit weird, so it's just easier to have Audacity on my laptop rather than on my desktop, and then the window just gets thrown about all over. Oh, I'm gonna talk to the Sand People guard right here. I'll continue afterwards. Even through the layers of wrapping, you can tell the Sand People warrior is disgusted by your presence among his people. Alright, whatever you say.
This guard doesn't appear honored to have the job of greeting us.
Yeah, well, tell him we have the moisture converters.
Translation. He will take us before the chieftain, as he was instructed to do.
It's gonna be a while before I can continue my story, I realize. Hey, I'm surprised I returned too, buddy. Not gonna lie. Or I can grunt and moan and whatever.
He did not expect us to return, Master.
Uh-huh.
He wonders if we have brought the moisture evaporators.
And then I just take out a grenade, I'm like, nope, I brought death.
Translation.
Yeah, for this entire conversation, HK had the back of his head to me at all times. It was really annoying. And he just keeps on shaking his head back and forth.
Translation.
See, he just keeps on doing it. He looks at you for a split second, then it's just like, this is the back of my head. This is what you would see if you fucked me. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna fuck you, you're a robot. Yeah, so, I'm sorry that I'm talking over the dialogue, by the way. You get the option of attacking him anyway.
If you truly want this sadly peaceful arrangement to continue, be careful of what you ask.
Yeah, as an assassin droid, HK is pretty adamant about killing them, but I'm not about it. And you can ask him about the star map, so this is where you figure out where the Tatooine star map is. Because before this, you really don't know.
Translation. He says that what you seek is far from here, in the eastern Dune Sea. He will give you a map so you can find your way.
Lovely.
Translation. His people found it, but didn't scavenge it because a crate dragon took up residence in the excavation.
Yep, and now you know why no one's found the star map yet.
Translation. Your ignorance isn't his concern.
Yep, I'm ignorant.
He claims there is a hunter that wanders the area sometimes, and that you should ask him. Translation. The hunter is a Twi'lek. He will be in the eastern Dune Sea somewhere.
And then you can also ask him about information on Sand People culture. I decided to just to get, you know, a bit more information. Why not? Yep. Click on it already, asshole. I'm the asshole in this case.
It will be a very sensitive topic, Master. You will want to be careful with your questions or risk offending him. Not that that is much of a worry.
He's saying that because he wants you to kill them, once again. So you can ask about the history of the clan. I'm having a nice coffee right now while I watch this and re-record the audio.
Translation. He says that he will not, Master. There is one storyteller in each clan, and only he may recite the histories.
I don't remember if you can talk to the storyteller. Oh yeah, you can ask if you can meet the storyteller. I have to go back to the Sand People in the next part, so I'll probably do it then, and we'll see if I can talk to the storyteller.
One more example of your ignorance as an outsider, Master. He says you are blind.
Yep, I'm blind.
His people believe they are part of the land, living with it. You and your kind dare to raise yourself above it. You remove yourself. Translation. That act of removal makes you an outsider, separate from all that is important. You could never understand how unwelcome you are.
So in other words, the Sand People are just a bunch of giant, very angry, very warmongering group of hippies.
We should not keep him long. It is an insult to take too much of his time. Unless the plan is to blast him when you are done, of course.
It's always a possibility. I mean, you know, whatever. I have no further use for him. Kill him.
Translation.
But no, not really. It's like, we'll see him later.
Translation. We are free to leave.
Yeah, I would sure hope so after we gave him everything he asked for. And then, at this point, I wanted to find the prisoners because remember that Isis, the Jawa, asked for us to find his missing Jawas. And so the funny thing is, I found the Jawas, I agreed to free them, I asked the chieftain for permission to free them, but then I forgot to tell the Jawas that they were free to leave, so in the next part I have to do that as well. So as I was saying before with my audio, so I set up my laptop to record audio, plugged in my microphone, and I had it set to record with my microphone, the... I forget what it is off the top of my head. Oh no, it's the Audio Technica AT2020 USB version, not the XLR version. And if anyone out there is looking for a good microphone, I definitely recommend it because it is absolutely fantastic. I love it. It's my new favorite microphone ever. And here's the Jawas right here. And just continue my story. So I had it set to record with my microphone, and everything was good to go. And for whatever reason, when I hit record, Audacity just, Audacity on my laptop just defaulted to the laptop's built-in input, which was, you know, the built-in microphone. And the built-in microphone on my laptop isn't horrible, but the problem is I have my laptop behind me and to the right, so it picked me up, but it was distant, and there was some background noise, and it picked up all the street noise, so it just wasn't great quality. So I figured that this might actually be a lot better just for the sake of the video. I even tried watching the video with the, what I call ruined audio, and I was like, you know what, this is crap. And I would have replayed this entire section, but the problem is I saved over my only save game, as you saw just before I freed the Jawas. I wasn't sure if the Sand People would attack once I opened the door, because they said not to touch their stuff or anything, so I wanted to save beforehand just in case. Hello, Chieftain. I like how he knows that he can't talk to me because he doesn't know my language, so he just greets me with a very long introduction, because I'm sure the Sand People equivalent of hi or hello isn't that long. And so we just ask about freeing the captive Jawas so we can get them back to Isis, but then, like I said, I forgot to actually go free the Jawas, so, you know, great job on my part. It's also kind of nice that he's just like, you know what, yeah, you can have them. Granted, I know he said they've lived past their usefulness, but the Sand People could also very well just murder them.
We are free to leave.
Also, the Jawas are also indigenous to Tatooine. You would think that on some level, the Sand People would have more respect for the Jawas. It's like, oh, you're the only other people who belong here, essentially. But no, the Sand People just don't give a fuck. They just want to murder everyone. And obviously, someone fell behind. I don't remember who it was. It was HK-47. Alright. Oh, man. So yeah, just re-recording this audio now. I did trim out just a couple things. I sped up some of the segments where I was walking across the desert. Mainly just when I was walking back to the spaceport. I didn't shorten this segment at all just because I hadn't shown off this entrance to the Eastern Dune Sea. We hadn't been here yet, so I figured I would just show this off and not edit this down or speed it up or anything. One thing that I was thinking about the other day, or yesterday when I recorded this, was just a matter of that there is a fast travel system, but it's not the same sort of fast travel system that you would see in something like Skyrim or Fallout, Witcher, Dragon Age, pretty much any modern RPG, in the sense that in Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2, you can only fast travel back to the Ebon Hawk and then fast travel back from the Ebon Hawk, assuming you don't go anywhere else. Which is, I mean, it works pretty well. It's really convenient at times if you're, say, just in the middle of the Eastern Dune Sea or in the Dune Sea, and you really just don't want to walk all the way back. So in that case, it's convenient, but it'd also be nice if you could just fast travel back to, say, not the spaceport necessarily, but the town square or something like that, which would be nice, but at the same time, it's a minor issue at most, and it's not like these zones are super large, in which case it takes half an hour to reach the other side, which is, you know, pretty fortunate. So yeah, you can see the Great Dragon Cave right over there. Fun fact, just going into some of the cut content / modified content from the original versions of Knights of the Old Republic, the versions that were never released. The original plan for Tatooine was that the star map would have been at the bottom of a Sarlacc pit, but BioWare was essentially just like, you know what? This would be impossible to implement.
How big can this dragon of yours be? I'm going in.
I'm going in. The last words uttered by a man whose name we didn't know. Because he's just cannon fodder, essentially. Yeah, he just kind of stood there like an idiot. What did he expect? And the dragon went right back to sleep. Who would have guessed? Hello. And we met this guy before in the lodge. Yeah, you have two ways of fighting the dragon. You can fight it in a traditional way or an untraditional way. Why should we kill the great beast? I'll help. Give me more information about how. Obviously, we need to kill it in order to get to the star map. There's no way to sneak around it. It's not like the Rancor. How will we lead the Banthas here? Unfortunately, we already have the Bantha fodder because we bought it immediately when we landed on Tatooine because I knew we needed it. I thought this was an interesting shot. Just like the most random choice. It's like, let's just show an overhead shot for this one part of the conversation. You know, why not? Oh, BioWare. That seems very easy. What aren't you telling me? I mean, yeah, if it was that easy, he would have done it himself, right? I mean, come on. Yep. Who would have guessed the Panthers are sacred to the Sand People? I like how he says we're far from the weakened tribes around Anchorhead, but the weakened tribe that he's talking about is right next door. We literally just walked from there less than 10 minutes ago. Because we're only 13 minutes into the video, so it's obviously less than 10 minutes ago. Yep, more dangerous. Wonderful. I always love more dangerous sand people. Not exactly the bravest hunter, but you know what? Oh well. I'm not gonna kill him. I'm not a dark side character. I've never fought the dragon just in the traditional sense of just one-on-one, or in my case, my party of 3 on 1 fighting him. I don't think it would go well. That's one of the reasons why I never tried it. I would imagine it's really tough. And yeah, I have the fodder for you. One of the real benefits for BioWare is that they didn't have to record as much voice acting as long as there were aliens, because they just recorded about maybe 5 or 6 lines of actual dialogue for the aliens, or for each alien. So for, in this case, a male Twi'lek, female Twi'lek, Rhodians, a Qualesh, etc. And I just wanted to see if Bastila had anything to say. She didn't, which is unusual since she's such a chatty Cathy. But no. But yeah, as long as they record, you know, a few lines of dialogue for each type of alien or gender of the alien, it's like they're done. which is also really convenient for modding purposes when you think about it, because then I don't know how easy it would be to implement voice acting into the game. You have to remember, this is a game that doesn't have a dedicated toolkit such as Fallout has the GEC, or Skyrim has the Creation Kit, or even Witcher 3 is going to be getting the Red Kit eventually. There's still no release date for that, but the fact that they've announced that they are definitely going to do it is already pretty amazing of them, and one of these days I'll probably buy Witcher 3 on PC. Honestly, I would be happy to buy Witcher 3 a second time on PC. I wouldn't even mind, although I've been enjoying it on Xbox One plenty, and I really don't have any issues with it. I think it's frozen all of maybe once. Frame rate has never really dropped below 30. Texture pop-ins are relatively rare. Annoying when it happens, but it's not that big a deal. I switched to Basilica because she was getting her ass kicked, even though Organic Var was stuck with an adhesive grenade. That's what the little blue bubbling thing was at the bottom, by the way. I've also been looking into Knights of the Old Republic mods, and the mod scene for Knights of the Old Republic 1 is pretty small, I realized. There is a mod to go down to Yavin 4, because someone did mention in a comment on one of the previous videos, I think it was 2 parts ago, that you could go down to Yavin because they do have a access panels in the main room on the space station, and they're just inaccessible. Someone made a mod to go down to Yavin, and I may use it. I don't think so, because I was looking it over, and it is a lot of... well, it consists only of reused cells, or reused areas from the game. So I'm not sure how interesting it would be in that case, since it's all areas that we'll see throughout the game anyway. And then, I like how he says, "Come talk to me," but it's like, we're talking already, why can't we just keep talking? Other than Yavin, there weren't too many quest mods slash new area mods. There's one that's still in development, and I'll go into that a little bit more once all of this action is over, because I don't want to interrupt that necessarily. As it is, I've been talking over Comad Fortuna. We got the dragon. Oh, he's like, yep, nope, explosions. Oh, that sucked. It hurt. It hurt a lot. Let me keep going forward. Oh, yep. Oh, no, look at the food. Oh, no. I'm gonna ignore the explosions. And oh, look, I'm dead. Yeah, I'm fucking dead. Also, you gotta like how the banthas don't react at all. They just stand there like, yeah, no, I think that dragon's coming to eat us. You want to move? No, I don't want to move. I'm just gonna stand right here. Yeah, and you get a crate dragon pearl from Comad, which is essentially, you can sell it for a good amount of credits, or you can use that as a lightsaber crystal upgrade. So I'm keeping it for the lightsaber, obviously, because it's a unique item. There is a massive quest mod for Knights of the Old Republic that is still in development, honestly, and it's the only mod I've seen that actually implements new areas in a new world space, and it's for an entire new planet, and it's for the planet Slayheron. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correct, but essentially Slayheron was going to be the planet that contained the 6th star map in Knights of the Old Republic, but then just, I think because of time restraints, they lowered it to just 5 star maps and removed Slayheron completely. Which is too bad, because that would have been cool. And I think Slayheron was a Hutt-occupied, or like a Hutt-ruled planet. And there is a mod team that is working on bringing Slayheron back into the game. Still in development. I think the last update were... it was a handful of screenshots, and I think it was from earlier this spring. And here's the star map. Wonderful. So, if that mod was to be finished anytime soon during the course of this playthrough, I would take a look at it, but I might take a look at it maybe afterwards. Once it's finished, I'll just keep a save game so that I can access the mod.
I believe there can be little doubt that we have found the star map you were seeking. I am surprised it is still working after all this time.
I mean, I'm
I do
not.
not think it is mere chance that we have found the star map here, in the lair of a great dragon. The star map is an artifact of the dark side. The great dragon may have been drawn here by its dark power, only to be enslaved by it. Come, we should leave this place. There's nothing else for us here.
Alright. And then I saved the game because I knew there was a battle coming up, and once again I saved over my my previous save file, so I didn't really have the option of just reloading my save and replaying the segment that, you know, I had already recorded with the lousy audio. Oh yeah. And you can see over here, look who found us, it's KotOR. The only good thing about losing that audio is that I made some really bad jokes
quite a chase,
about him being a midget.
Away from KotOR in the end. You got lucky on Terrace. The Sith attack saved you from a quick and gruesome death.
Yeah, look at his butt chin.
I promise you, the Sith won't be getting in my way this time.
Oh, the Sith won't be getting in my way. I'm KotOR and I'm short. Oh, here I go again with the goddamn short people jokes. I'm sorry. You think I got lucky last time? Let's go, Callow. Let's dance. You see, if I had brought Canderous with me, I think there's a little bit of banter between them. But, oh well, I brought HK instead. Oh, yep, and unfortunately I spazzed out a little before I actually threw the grenades. And Callow used a very powerful shield, so one of my first priorities was getting rid of that on him. I activated my Mandalorian melee shield, but in theory I probably should have just used a regular energy shield, since the Mandalorian shield helps against slashing damage, but everyone here was using blasters, unfortunately for me. So I just didn't really think that one through. Oh well. So, mod-wise, Knights of the Old Republic doesn't have a ton of mods. There are some various texture mods. I'm using one for this playthrough that kept in tone with the in-game textures, and it sort of just up-resed them. It didn't change the entire look of the game. I saw one mod that did sort of change all the original textures, and it looked really nice, but it just didn't look like Knights of the Old Republic anymore, and that was kind of an issue I had with it, is I didn't really want to use it for my playthrough and, you know, represent that as what the game looked like, because I like the look of the vanilla game, and I didn't necessarily want to, you know, get rid of that feel, especially for people watching this who hadn't seen, you know, the game before, or who have never played the game before. I think it would be nice to keep a relatively close to vanilla look for the game. And, you know, this is essentially how I remember the game looking when it came out. I'm using a higher scale texture mod. It's not even finished, actually, the texture mod. It improved most things, but I think some of the character models weren't finished yet, or some of the weapons weren't finished yet. I think a couple planets were just in progress at the time, so I'll have to check to see if there's been any update to the mod, but it's unlikely, seeing as this mod is, I mean, not the mod, but the game is still 10 years old for that matter, so I really would be surprised if there's been that many changes to the mod recently. That being said, Knights of the Old Republic 2 has a much larger modding scene, and for those of you who don't know, Knights of the Old Republic 2 was developed by Obsidian Entertainment, who worked on, they were the developers for Fallout New Vegas. And the funny thing about their experience with Knights of the Old Republic 2 is it's a fantastic game. Oh, she has a conversation, so let's do that first. You want to talk to me?
I'm watching you, studying you closely to see what kind of progress you've made since your training at the hands of Master Zar.
Oh, I think we both know the real reasons you've been watching me.
You never give up, do you?
Nope.
I admit, I'm interested in you. I find you intriguing, compelling even, but it's not what you think.
Are you sure about that?
Great gift. You have an awesome command of the Force.
Awesome.
And I tremble when I think of how you might misuse it.
I make you tremble? Do you get all tingly inside too? Ooh.
What? No, of course not. Not like that anyway. In many ways, you are dangerous. You could be the savior of the galaxy. Or you could bring untold destruction upon us all.
She likes the bad boy types.
You've resisted many temptations and continue to walk the path of the light side. Very commendable. But I'm afraid you might stray from this path. You need to see what the dark side represents in its entirety. For it is what we battle. Only the wisdom of a Jedi Master can truly explain this. But I will do my best to make you understand.
Yeah, why didn't they send a master with me, by the way? What are you trying to tell me?
The dark side is not simply giving in to anger, temptation, or to use the Force to destructive ends. These things only lead to the dark side. The dark side grows stronger and more insidious the closer you draw to it. It begs you to surrender to it, to release all its terrible power, and it becomes harder and harder to resist. And once you stop resisting, it's too late. It twists you up inside and turns you into a mockery of everything you once stood for.
You seem to know that temptation very well. How can you know it is so terrible? Stop with the dramatics already, I get the picture. No, you seem to know what that temptation...
I'm no less resistant to temptation than any other. I simply have the benefit of training that you do not. But even the training of the Jedi might not be enough to save us. We need only to look at the atrocities which have been committed by those under its sway to understand the terrible, corrupting evil of the dark side.
You mean like Malik bombing Taris?
Far more suffering. What sort of person would you have to become to perform such deeds gladly?
I couldn't see myself ever doing such things. It's that simple. HK's like, oh, I want to murder the Sand People, please. Statement, HK-47 is bored.
That is why the dark side is so insidious. If you are not careful, you do not even see each small step you take towards it until it's too late. It's so easy to think that we would never fall prey to such a horror, that we have unlimited control, vigilance, and foresight. If only that were true. The Sith have become powerful because there are many Jedi who've succumbed to the lure of the dark side and joined their cause. What greater weapon is there than to turn an enemy to your cause, to use their own knowledge against them? We are weakened while they are strengthened, so we must harden our hearts and do whatever is required to fight against the dark side, even when the battle becomes wearying.
Do whatever is required, such as flirting with me, perhaps?
I don't know. The
Oh.
vision of our future is clouded by shadows cast from the dark side. But I sense something ominous lurking in those shadows. But words alone cannot save one from the dark side. Come, we should continue with the task at hand. When the time comes, I only hope we are all strong enough to do what we must.
Except for HK-47, because he's kind of an asshole. And she doesn't have anything else to say.
Move on.
Yeah, because it's good to keep up to date with your companions. Oh, yeah, here's the part that I sped up, by the way. Yep. I mean, I figured just to speed it up, because it would be a lot easier. Also, it was kind of funny to watch. I forgot about that.
What?
I gave Bastila Force speed, so that helped me get across this area anyway, make that a little faster. But I decided to, you know, go back to normal speed because we had some desert raids here, so I figured, you know, why not go fight them? And for some reason, my character decided, well, the enemy's right in front of me, but let me walk to the left real quick. You know, why not? And now just gotta fight them off. As I was saying, Knights of the Old Republic 2 was a great game. It was longer than 1, albeit it was a bit slower in terms of pacing. And here's a perfect example. So, in Knights of the Old Republic 1, I would simply call Taris the starting area. It is essentially the first starting zone, or the starting zone. And it takes, you know, a few hours to get off of it, and I wouldn't say that it really drags on. That being said, the starting area in 2, and I'm not going to go into details because I don't want to get into spoilers or talk about the story necessarily, but the starting area for 2 is excruciatingly long, and it's just long and drawn out, and it gets annoying after a while. And it's unfortunate, but after that, it gets a little better. That being said, the first planet you go to after leaving the starting zone in Knights of the Old Republic 2, it's not a starting zone, but it gets really repetitive yet again, which is unfortunate. And then, so I think my first idea was once I got back to the city, I would go to the Czerka office, tell them that I had the gaffy stick, and take care of that. I also wanted to sell the raid skull plates to, I forget his name, but whoever is in charge of the hunting lodge, or whoever runs the hunting lodge. But the thing about Knights of the Old Republic 2 is that Obsidian was rushed a bit, so they didn't get as much time to develop the game as they hoped to. So a lot of the original content got cut, but a lot of the original content that did get cut was still in the game files to some degree. Oh, got a conversation right here. Hello, armored, mysterious man. How you doing? Dropped my data pad, huh? I didn't drop anything. I don't think so. What is this? Some kind of con game? I didn't drop anything. I'm sorry, there must be some mistake. I just clearly don't want to take it. You can also be a dick to him and just like tell him to fuck off essentially, but I didn't do that. Yeah, eventually I'm just like, yeah, thanks. Yeah, examine it to make sure it's not broken. Nothing, nothing suspicious about that. Very subtle, by the way. Yep. Alright, so suspicious armor man, or, you know, he's armor clad. And his name is Seni Vek. Alright, and then I just decided to pull it up under new items. And I don't check my items very often, so I just have all the items in the world here. So I have the 2 star maps, Tatooine and Dantooine, and then here you go. This is the datapad he gives you. The datapad contains a single short cryptic message to Gino Harden, say to see Hulas Amanan, come alone or not at all. And that is obviously, you know, for a quest. As I was saying, Knights of the Old Republic 2 had a much larger modding scene because a mod team called Team Gizka dedicated themselves to restoring all of the cut content and bringing the game back to what it was meant to be all along. And the mod is more or less done. And I'm considering taking a look at it eventually.
Is this about bounties or something else?
I mean, in the end, this was essentially my way of getting ready for the release of Star Wars Episode 7. I figured it'd be nice to do a Star Wars series.
I'm sure there are still sand people out there, but they'll be quieter now. I think I'll give you a bonus for this.
Yay!
More than lived up to your side of the bargain.
I know.
Circuit Corporation thanks you.
I think it's safe to say that I will definitely finish this playthrough before Episode 7 comes out, though.
No more is deserved.
I mean, we're about, what, 6 months away from the release of the movie?
Thanks you again.
Yep. So they give you 500 credits for the gaffy stick. And that's under the assumption that you murdered the chieftain and most of his clan. You got 500 credits for selling that woman's raid skull plate. What the hell? Like, where's the value coming from? Like, I definitely think you should get more for the gaffy stick, let's be honest. Yeah, I just wanted to sell him the raid skull plates because they really have no other purpose in the game. Yeah, so I might do a playthrough of Knights of the Old Republic 2. Someone did actually give me a copy when they saw I started my playthrough of 1. So that does kind of make me think I should do a playthrough and record it. If I did a playthrough, it would definitely be with the restored content mod. I sold the Dark Jedi robe because I really don't need it, because I'm not a Dark Jedi, and there's no Dark Jedi on my party. And then I think the only other thing I sold was the raid plates. I just had to try and find them. There's the Crate Dragon Pearl I was mentioning earlier. Oh god, I'm gonna keep on burping. And here's the Desert Raid skull plates, and they sell for 24 each, but, you know, I don't really need them for anything else, so I was like, yeah, you know, whatever. Alright, Faza. I was trying to remember his name. I wanted to say Fossa, like F-O-S-S-A, but I remember that Fossa is someone in Knights of the Old Republic 2, not from 1. Although, ironically, he was also in Ithorian in 2. So, very similar names, it would seem. I don't exactly remember why I wanted to come back to the Ebon Hawk. Not gonna lie. Oh! Okay, now I do. I intentionally came back here for this.
I'm Bastila, yes. I take it that you know my mother?
Bona na kachu, kicha badwang, Wanga kum kiba bu mulera kakin chak nawa gawa bakon. Donk kiba nukunek. Tanga boksha nagnong.
Is there something I can do for you, miss? As you can see, we're in quite a hurry.
Hey, no need to be rude, Bastila. Come on. I mean, yes, she's dressed like a stripper, but come on.
Chi pala mulek. Tonki pa nagnonek. Tu nikton chun ke nemolek rabest. Wuf mala nibokurk.
My mother's condition?
Tin umpa do punta krita. Ak ti kondo ona chaba chisa wanki. Ti toki grantu kon chi chan kun green kanchan tu pro. Bok wala no bok cha. Ni chi kon chuva kin lorta ikakun.
I've not seen my mother since I joined the Order. Do you know what's happened? Did she say anything about my father?
Genchopa chawi ti chok twis yun kun. Watu yama kama wona henak nek. Bugra shak kunti chi wa chawa. Dong abuk shami no nok.
I see. Where did you meet her? Do you remember?
Chika don mulaka wata yumaka wama hona nek. Ashantington unumani patoka. Wana kuna best chinga pala multonki.
I guess we should go see your mother, Bastila. Yeah, let's do it. Come on, see your mother.
At all. But if she is really sick, well, we shall see.
All right. Yeah. So all of your companion quests are initiated at the. Well, it doesn't have to be on Tatooine, but it just has to be at any of the spaceports or any of the landing zones, and it's the only way to initiate any of the companion quests. So I think there's only a few. It's not for every character. So there's one for Bastila, obviously, because we just got that. There's one for Mission, one for Karth, one for Canderous, and I think that's it. Because I know there's not one for HK. There isn't one for Zalbar, although Zalbar has his own stuff, as you'll see a little later on. Because the next planet I'm going to go to is Kashyyyk, sort of keeping in line with the order that I mentioned before, that if you go in that specific order, you're much less likely to run into just random Sith attacks. Although I also have to go back to Dantooine because I need to try and get Sasha off my ship and get her to go back home. I stopped to look at... Oh, never mind. I wanted to talk to Bastila. I don't know why I wanted to stop that. Ignore me.
Sorry. I'm just thinking about my mother. It's strange to hear news after all this time. It's quite distracting.
I noticed.
It's not that I look forward to seeing her.
No, me neither.
I can't help but wonder what she wants. But perhaps we have better things to do.
Well, not really. I mean, yes, we are saving the galaxy, but at the same time, we can have a nice little family reunion. This guy's pretty mad at us for no reason. Hello, sir. Hey, Bastila, isn't that your mother's name? Helena?
My mother was supposed to be here somewhere. Ask if they've seen her.
Oh, it seems so. Yeah, that sounds about right. Is she still there?
We should try to find her. I doubt she wants to be kept waiting.
Yeah. So yeah, if I decide to do a Knights of the Old Republic 2 playthrough, it would be with the restored content mod. And, well, that would be interesting because then people who didn't know anything about the game would just be like, I don't know where the real game ends and where the modded content begins, but I would try to point it out as best I can. I didn't play 2 as much as I played 1, but I still really enjoyed 2. 2 was a lot longer, like I said, but it did drag on a bit more. And I've only played the vanilla version of 2 so far, so I don't know what it feels like with the modded content.
Yeah? I'm sorry, do I know you?
I'm here, Mother. But don't you recognize me?
What do you expect when I haven't so much as had a picture of you since you left? Do you know how long I've been trying to find you?
You knew as well as I communication would be impossible once I joined the Order. Now what is this about? Where is Father?
Then you haven't heard. I should have known.
Has something happened to him? Are you going to tell me or not?
Your father is dead, Bastila. That is part of the reason why I was looking for you.
Oh.
Dead? What happened? What did you do to him?
Whoa, alright.
It's a lovely reunion. Already she's flinging insults at me. Tell me, you're one of her friends.
Not
Do you
really.
treat your mother this way?
Alright, way to put me on the spot. My mother is long dead, if you must know.
Is that so? Well, I'll be joining her soon enough, I suppose.
I was told you were sick. Are you actually dying, or is this merely melodrama for my benefit?
Such sweet things, you say.
The family that bitches together.
Perhaps I should tell you everything first before we start arguing again.
You're already arguing.
Telling me what you got father into that killed him.
I hadn't realized Jedi was so spiteful.
Nope, just Bastila.
You want me to tell you I brought your father here for an expedition, do you? You want to blame me for his death?
She
You
does.
never accepted that your father loved going on his treasure hunts, leaving you alone with me. I was always to blame for everything. What else is new? So yes, fine. I brought your father here to look for Krayt dragon pearls. He took an expedition into the Tatooine desert, and he died.
How can you be sure of that? Father is an experienced...
Do you think
Well,
I would
Bastila,
lie to
we
you
just
if I
killed the
wasn't
dragon.
Sure? They were attacked by a Krayt dragon,
Yeah.
and one of the guides fled the battle. He saw your father killed.
Also, we were there.
So what do you want from me? Credits?
Oh, don't be insulting. I want you to use those senses of yours. I want you to find him. I want you to bring back his holocron.
Why? So you can sell it?
Is it
Ouch.
too much to ask that I have something to remember your father by? Of course it is, isn't it? You couldn't be bothered.
Apparently
We're
not.
very busy on a mission from the Jedi Council. I doubt I'll have the time. Ask my companions if you doubt me.
I mean, we can... Well, no. I mean, why don't you get it yourself? Don't you want your father's remains, Bastila?
What remains would there be? Krayt dragons are huge predators, easily able to devour a human. And the desert is a harsh environment. Finding my father's remains would be an even more impossible task than finding his holocron. An ignoble end to a fine man.
What about your mother's sickness?
It doesn't seem to have anything to do with what she's asking. Are you actually sick, Mother?
What difference does it make to you? None, I'm sure. Just find your father's holocron, and you won't have to worry about me again either way.
That's the kind of response I would expect. Very well. We'll look for the holocron if we have time. I can't promise any more than that.
I believe your father was headed north towards the Sand People Enclave.
Oh,
I
wonderful.
would check along that route, dear. Do please hurry.
Yeah, I mean, for the sake of time, I knew that he was in the Krayt Dragon Cave, because, like I said, I've played the game before, so one of the reasons I didn't loot the
I'm
cave
here.
when we were there earlier was because I didn't want to necessarily mess up the quest, because there are a couple instances in the game where if you go into certain rooms before
Hey,
you have the
Bastila.
quest...
You
Uh-oh,
ever use
hello.
the Force just for fun? You know, a little jolt to the Force to trip up some jerk who's ticking you off.
I would never use the Force.
Why are
for
they
such
looking at me when
petty,
they say
trivial
that?
Revenge. The mere thought of it's preposterous.
Aw, come on. There's gotta be times when you thought about it. Don't be so stuck up. You can tell me.
I am not stuck up. I merely have the years of training to give me the wisdom and understanding to see how childish such an act would be.
Childish? Is that a crack about my age?
Yes.
You ain't much older than me, Miss High and Mighty. Just 'cause you're some Jedi doesn't mean you can be a prissy little...
Oh.
What the... Hey, that wasn't funny.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Mission. Come now, we have to get going. Please, do try to be less clumsy in the future.
I wish I could high-five Bastila for that.
What?
Not because I dislike Mission, because Mission's pretty great, but still, I was just... It's too good. Gotta love BioWare. Gotta love BioWare. Yeah, and then I went to speak to Izes, and that's when I realized I didn't actually free his people. Yep, alright. Well, I forgot to free your people, so I'll be back when I actually free them. Sorry about that. Oh, look at the eyebrows I'm giving him. Oh, hey, Bastila, you just... Oh, hey, Mission, you guys just teleported right behind me, it would seem. Yeah, and here I am, I'm just like, oh, damn it, I was an idiot, and I forgot to go free his people, so... Yep. Oh, we gotta talk to the guy to leave.
Oh, it's you again. Good hunting out there.
Yep, see ya. Pretty sure I had this... Yep, I sped this up as well. Yep. Oh, God. It'll look fine when I render it, but in the editor, it doesn't play every frame when it's that sped up, so it's just a giant blur for me. Ooh, Jedi Master Robes. Yeah, so I decided to equip those for myself, and I put the blue ones on Bastila. It's, very fetching, I would say. The Jedi Master Robes on me, and then the Jedi Knight ones on her. Although they never really explained why there was a Jedi Master out here, or someone with Jedi Master robes in that case. One thing I really liked about Knights of the Old Republic 2 was that there was more variation in terms of robes. There were unique robes, and then there was also armored robes that were really nice, and there was just a lot more gear in general, and it was really cool. And Knights of the Old Republic 2, unlike 1, had a random loot generator. So in 1, as I've said before, you always know what you're going to get, either from enemies or from packs on the floor. But in 2, it was randomly generated, so you would never have the same loot
How can I help?
twice in a mission. And then I decided to talk to her.
I'm unsure. I seem to find it difficult to remain objective when it comes to her. I find that disturbing.
Are you going to give the holocron to her?
Do you think I should?
Well, I mean, you might want to consider it, just a little bit. Or do you need it any more than she does?
Something to remember Father as much as she would. I'll think about it. I should try and remember my training. I should be able to let go of this, but I can't. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Let's keep going.
Alright. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. Next week, I'll be back to the regular recording for this. But, I figured this was the best way to go about this episode. So, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.